After our short stay in the beautiful city of Doha, staying in this classic Arab hotel, visiting the city only for a few hours, and seeing those authentic buildings and the beautifully decorated night lights, is our time to go back home. And that long journey begins at Hamad International Airport. So subscribe to the channel and stay with me because this is going to be an amazing adventure. It was time to say goodbye, but we were really happy that we had the opportunity to visit the city for a few hours. So we woke up really early and checked out of this beautiful hotel that we stayed at by the sea, with a magnificent sunrise to a day that is not going to last 24 hours as it usually does. Our day today is gonna last more than 30 hours, since we will leave Doha at 8 AM in the morning and arrive only at 2:30 in the afternoon, flying without any stop for more than 16 hours straight. And look at this entrance at Hamad International Airport for first class and business class passengers. I've been wanting to see this in person for years, and you see that the experience doesn't disappoint for a second. As an interesting fact, this check-in area is only for the classes mentioned above and when traveling in business class in a one-wear parlor. It does not allow one-wear elite members as Sapphire or Emerald. And yes, it impressed me a bit. I have never seen an exclusive area for business class or first class passengers check-in. And I've even seen that the first class check-in area is way better than this, so I'm hoping to be there soon. As expected, the check-in process was quick and we were soon on our way to the famous Mourjan VIP Lounge, one of the most famous lounges in the world. And here comes the much needed photo with the lamp bear. And yes, because although it seems like it's just a big toy, it's actually a 20-ton bronze piece of art that costs almost $7 million and is the main attraction of this airport. When she scanned our boarding passes, we didn't appear on the list. However, our boarding passes were business class without upgrading, so I knew something odd was happening. The entrance to the lounge was a little more complex than I expected. Apparently, there are several conditions to access it, and in our case, I had to buy an additional 5,000 or 10,000 avios to complete the purchase, and that apparently gave them some kind of error in their system. Luckily, after some minutes waiting for the agent to check on their system, we were allowed to enter without any additional problems. But it was definitely a bit uncomfortable waiting there for some time without knowing what was going to happen next. But you know what? I'm happy that I waited. The truth is that the photos that are online of this room are nothing compared to what you see when you visit it in person. It is huge and has so many areas that you can sit and rest that you will need 2 or 3 hours to visit them all, including this restaurant that I'm passing by that I did not have enough time to visit. The decoration on the right, left, and central area gives you a vibe of a luxury hotel of those that they have in the Middle East. And well, the most impressive thing about this room is the water mirror fountain that they have in the middle of the VIP lounge. It even seems that it's dripping from the roof, but it's actually an effect. It's pretty cool actually. If you sit at the end of the lounge, you will have direct view to the runways and even some gates with aircrafts. The access to the restaurant had a waiting list, but once we signed up, it was quite fast. Definitely the efficiency is very high in all the services of this airline. The waiting time wasn't too long and we waited next to the water mirror while we observed around the beauty and immensity of this business class lounge for Qatar and one-world passengers. After a few minutes, we were called to the front of the line, and when we arrived at the main restaurant, we were greeted by someone who also guided us to our table. Very similar to what happened on our visit to the lounge of the same airline in the city of Singapore. Our stay was long enough to choose some things for breakfast, and although we didn't have much time to select something from the menu, the truth is that the buffet was more than sufficient, and it would provide us with more energy for our walk to the first flight of more than 16 hours. There were some breads, pastries, sweets, and charcuterie. So after that quick breakfast, we headed to our gate and started getting ready for our flight. And the emotion goes to the roof. We are boarding for the first time an Airbus A350-1000, and it is probably the most modern and technological airplane in the world in active service. And I think they are the only ones that have 100% Qsuites cabin in the QATAR Airways fleet. And it is also important to mention that they will be adding also high-speed internet in all their fleet using connections with Starlink satellites. And before showing you the interior of this cabin, let me tell you that this Airbus A350-1000 has 46 seats in the business class cabin in a Qsuite configuration and 281 seats in the economy class. This type of aircraft does not have first class or premium economy in the QATAR Airways fleet. In my opinion, these Qsuite cabins are still the queens of commercial aviation in business class. The privacy is absolute, and with the comfort on board, you just need to take off your shoes, have a glass of champagne, and you are ready for any number of hours you are flying with them. The amenity kit bag on this flight was very different than our previous flight in the A350-900, but it had similar items: the lip balm, the body cream, some hand cream, a small bottle of cologne, and a couple of socks. As today's flight is the longest we've ever taken, we decided to go together in the double aisle suites. And let me show you a little bit of it. In front of the seat and within easy reach, you'll have the controls for your seat, the universal outlet, and the remote control for your entertainment screen. You'll also have a large table that you can use for your drinks, a storage for your computer or iPad, and if you're not traveling with your family, you can also use this Swiss divider, kind of a wall that gives you privacy to your own little space. But of course, the winner of the day is the suite's door. It will give you entirely privacy and separation from the aisle. And there is also a huge storage compartment hidden under your armrest. An additional reading light, and some more storage under the IFE. And what a huge surprise, I just realized that the remote control for the IFE is actually a modified Motorola cell phone. Just a few minutes after the boarding was complete, the security video started to play, So I fastened my seatbelts and settled in for our long flight to Houston, Texas. So let's take a minute and listen to the most technological commercial engines in the world. As soon as the captain turned off the seatbelt signs, the flight attendant brought me a smoothie, a pineapple and mint flavor, which was delicious by the way, and for breakfast I chose the fresh fruit, which was followed by a pita bread that came with a delicious mix and some salad. I wasn't too hungry, but I enjoyed every bit of it. It was perfect. And after that beautiful breakfast, I was ready to start working on some pending tasks. Just as I was finishing work, the flight attendant came to offer me the services of preparing my bed, to which I said, let's do it right now because I'm tired and I need to start adjusting my jet lag to the time in Houston. So I took my pajamas and headed to the restroom to start changing over. In the meantime, another flight attendant came over and started making the bed. Another type of service that is more common when traveling in first class, not business class. So I came to my seat, or bed in this case, I settled in, turned off some lights, the screen, and rested for a while. I think I slept for about 7 hours, maybe more, and I woke up very hungry, so it was time for the real lunch. It started with some types of bread, some seeds and olives, and a delicious sweet potato soup, which I was hesitant about at the beginning, but I think it was the best decision at the end. It perfectly accounted for a full meal. But it wasn't. The lunch continued with a perfectly grilled steak with vegetables and mashed potatoes. On the other side, Alejandro ordered the lobster, and according to what he told me, it was spectacular. It was also very surprising to see that they offer something so exquisite and so expensive in business class. And we cannot end this flight without showing you what's in the restroom. They had a big bottle of AvGeek cologne, a face cream of the same brand, a big mirror, well actually 2 mirrors, hand wash, something that I really like in some airplanes when they offer it, a window so you can see the sky while you're doing your duties, and a full body mirror. A few minutes before landing, I ordered a coffee to give the body some extra energy before arriving in Houston. And what a beautiful cup they gave me to transfer my coffee for the landing. It was already beginning, and the imagery on these A350-1000 cameras are amazing. And let me tell you while we land that I have heard many stories about Qatar Airways and their service, and it's truly difficult to imagine how good it is if you haven't tried it yourself. So it is totally worth it flying in business class with this airline. I hope you liked this experience as much as I did, and please subscribe to the channel to be able to continue making more videos like this, and so that we can live those adventures together. And here it is, a beautiful landing into Houston, Texas.